Oh, sorry about that. Hello. Let's go ahead and start here. Hello, my name is Mr. Faber, and welcome back to another episode with Adventures of Atticus. Fantastic. Man, are you as intrigued as what's going to happen as I am? Because let me tell you, I love this story so much. It's a lot of fun to tell myself, but now that I've got a video recording of it, it's even more fun. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and jump right into our next chapter. As you may have heard, last we left off, Atticus had inspired a small group of 20,000, 30,000, I can't remember exactly what the number was, to conquer 500,000, and now Atticus, along with the heroes, well, not really Atticus so much doing the marching, but Atticus with all these heroes and these soldiers and these Seattleites who've come out to join them, are going to make this great march across the country of the United States to Washington, D.C. Atticus is too weak to march himself, so he will be in a truck, sort of just going along for moral support. Now, as we enter this scene, you can picture, because they're going, and already evening's starting to fall, but they're going out anyway. Nothing is going to stop them. Nothing will slow them down. They are going to go and ride on through the night and through the next day to find Gundral Michael. And as this scene unfolds, you see the bravery and the courageousness of the Seattleites and others who had come to Seattle to save their children, as well as these soldiers who have mustered together, going out boldly facing their enemy. But more than that, they are seeing these superheroes coming out and showing their epic strength, starting with our flying overhead. We've got Zeus raining down fire from the sky as she flies on ahead. A truly terrifying feature. In fact, she even helps create this terrifying thing by lighting her entire self on fire, looking like, in some respects, the angel of death. Next to her is that glass pirate, Zeus, who has begun to build his own confidence, knowing that he's not quite that kind of Atticus type of personality, getting into the thick of things, facing that foe, instead facing that foe close up, but rather from far away. And so his ship has definitely gotten some upgrades, as there are probably about 50 cannons now that shoot glass out that burst into shards and rain down upon the enemy. And so Zeus is up there acting sort of piratey and showing a much more serious endeavor than what he did before. Then you have on the ground the two mighty warriors. And behind, or you can sort of see this picture. Poseidon and Apollo are kind of like trying to see who's stronger or who can kill more. In front of them is Nostalgia. And Nostalgia's job is very simple. As graceful and elegant as she is, she simply bends down and taps the ground, and ice sort of expands from her, freezing soldiers into place. And then Apollo and Poseidon use their clubs or hammers or whatever to smash down those foes. And so you've got Nostalgia sort of leading these two brutes on as they go and try to play a game of who's better. Then you've got Urania. And Urania is not really a team player. She doesn't really stick with the group. She tends to teleport away into these small pocket resistances, these small pocket groups or Gundralian terrorist groups that try to sneak in from behind, and she sort of slips behind them and does her karate electrocuting thing. And then who are we missing? We've got Artemis, of course, who also turns the tides of things against soldiers by tricking them into running into themselves and things like that. Well, they finally all get to the White House, and Atticus who has rested the whole time, is trying to get up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "No, no, no. I'm not relying on someone to get him. I'm going to finish this." And he hobbles into the White House, led by his group of heroes, and Gundrall Michael is like, "Oh, Atticus, you don't want to do this. Please, I have something to tell you. Come here. And Atticus is like, okay. And as he walks close to him, everyone sort of panics, but then they realize Atticus is onto him, and as he gets close to him, he stabs Gundrall Michael, and Gundrall Michael, before he can whisper, falls to the ground and dies, thus ending the cruel tyranny of Gundrall Michael. And any person who had once been under his control, as Gundrall Michael died, so then that control was lifted, and they were free. Well, that was all well and good. Freedom for humanity had been given back to them. Peace in an instant had returned. Immediately, everyone was super glad, and they were thanking Atticus and the heroes and things like that. And Atticus was, meanwhile getting tested by Zales, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I got to get back to the lab. I only have maybe 24 hours left, or 36 hours left, a day and a half left. I got to go." And Atticus is like, "No, Zales, stop. And she's like, what? We don't have time for this, Atticus." And Atticus is like, "I know. How often, or how realistically, do you think you're going to make a cure in that much time?" And Zale said, "I don't know. It probably won't happen." And she's starting to tear up a little bit, knowing that she's failed him. And Atticus is like, no, it's fine. It's fine, Zales. If I've got 36 hours left, I want to spend that time. I want to spend that time with the people I love the most, my family and my friends. I want to spend that time with you, Zales." And Zales, she didn't know what to say or do. She gave him a hug, and she started crying, and she's like, I just want to help. And Atticus is like, it's fine. And so they go. The family, Atticus, Zales, Adora, Zeus, Nostalgia, not all the heroes, but Atticus's close friends and his family, they go, and as they travel back to Seattle, they spend time together. They're eating and they're talking, and Atticus is just soaking up every moment he can with his family, because he is just grateful to have them. Zales keeps asking Atticus, why do you not want a cure? And Atticus said, Zales, think about it. I have done more in my short life here than most people have spent for decades trying to do. I mean, I've left a legacy of 500 million children. I've helped to rid this world of evil. I've done all that there needs to be done. I'm okay dying. It's fine. And Zales, she tried to understand, but Atticus always had this little oddity as far as the way he thought, and so Zales wasn't quite so sure about that. But he was trying to be encouraging, and trying to spend time with her and not really argue about this. And so they got back to Seattle, and the governor of Seattle was talking to Atticus as they arrived, and he's like, "Oh, they want to throw this day for you, Atticus Day or something like that." And Atticus is like, no, whatever you do, please do not ever celebrate my name, because today wasn't the day that I saved the world. Today was the day that humankind was freed from evil. This should not be a day celebrated by celebrating one man, but all mankind. Today should be a day that should be known as Earth Day, because the entire Earth was free. And so that was agreed that Atticus's name would never be used in a celebration, that his statues wouldn't be erected of him, that he wouldn't be mentioned at all in the history books. And Atticus went back to spending time with his family. Well, they ended up talking through the night. Most of them, I mean, they were tired, and some of them were sleeping for a couple hours. But knowing that there was this time left with Atticus, it was very hard for anyone to sleep soundly through the night. And Atticus stayed up talking with any who were around. The next day, the time ticked closer and closer to this time where Zales perceived it to happen. And Atticus seemed fine up to that point. And so everyone thought that maybe Zales was wrong, except for Atticus. He knew Zales was always right. A few minutes after the time had hit, all of a sudden, Atticus started to shake. He started to go into convulsions and fell onto the ground, filling with sweat and not being able to control his muscle movements. Immediately, they called the doctor, the ambulance, and the ambulance came and rushed Atticus off to the hospital. The bed was prepared already because Zales had prepared it in advance, and everyone, all the family, and even people that didn't know Atticus so close, they started gathering around the hospital. People that knew Atticus only through his deeds started gathering. I mean, there were millions that were surrounding this hospital, and Atticus was inside, and you could hear within his room for a little while there was just this pain screeching out because the poison was hitting him and it was causing this tremendous pain. Well, when things had settled down, Adora was the first to go in and see him, and she saw that Atticus was hooked up to all these IVs, all these different cords and things like that, and the doctors had him basically on life support. Like, Atticus should be dead right now. The only reason he's not is because he has life support on. And Adora asked, how are you doing? And Atticus said, well, I'm in a lot of pain. And you could tell because there was like a non-stop stream of sweat on him. Well, did the doctors have any idea? And at that very moment, Zales was talking with the doctors, and Zales said, so, can you get it out of him? Can you do anything? The doctor said, the only thing we're doing is letting him survive in this tremendous pain. But there's nothing we can do. As long as he's alive, it's only because of this life support. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. And the best thing to do, especially for the pain he's in, is to let him go. I think it's time for you to say your goodbyes. And so that's what happened. Adora was talking, and she was trying to be brave. She was squeezing Atticus's hand, and Atticus thought it was a gesture of hope or love or something like that. But in Adora's mind, she was trying to give back the healing, or trying to heal him, something that she could do, but she couldn't. She hugged him and kissed him, and then his family came in, his parents, and he gave his mom and dad a hug and kiss, and his mom and dad said, we're so proud of you. We're so proud of everything that you've done. And we love you so much. Atticus said, I love you too. His brother came in. They didn't say much. They didn't have much to say. It was just a look in the eyes, a look of forgiveness from Atticus, and a look of thankfulness from Zeus. I guess I'll be seeing you, said Atticus. And Zeus smiled. I guess I'll be seeing you. He walked out of the room. Zales came in. She couldn't help. She was already crying. She gave Atticus a hug. She said, I should have done something. Atticus said, you did everything. You did everything a best friend could do. And for as long as I will remember, you have been exactly that, Zales. You have been my best friend. She smiled and left. Adora came in. She didn't know how to talk or to say anything. Atticus clasped her arm. He said, it's okay, Arania. Did I say Adora? I'm sorry, I meant Arania. He clasped Arania's arm. He said, it's okay, Arania. It's okay. I need you to be strong. Not only for the family, but for the kids. Behind Arania came the two kids that Atticus had adopted in Mexico. He smiled and he said, I'm sorry that I have to go. But Aunt Arania, she's going to be here to take care of you. And all of my family will be here to take care of you for as long as you live. So, they walked down. See you. trying to remember everyone. I gotta make sure I got everyone. Zeus. Oh, of course, nostalgia. Nostalgia is heartbroken. She hasn't been living long in this world, but the person she knew as her father, but more important, well, no, not more important, her father, but her hero figure is now dying, and so she's just really sad. And Atticus said, nostalgia, I don't know who will be able to take you back there, and I don't know how you'll get there, but I need you to go back to the planets and tell everyone what has happened, that they're strong enough to lead themselves. They don't need me to be a leader, but that they know what happened, that I didn't abandon them. Yeah, I think that's everyone. So after Atticus had talked to everyone, the doctors went to the family and just sort of checked and said, "Hey, are you guys, you're ready?" And they're like, "Yeah." And so then they asked Atticus too, "Are you ready?" And Atticus was ready. So they pulled him off of life support, and slowly Atticus faded away. And this time, I know that he's died a couple times in the story, but this time he really did die. And that day was a sad day, not just for the family, not just for Adora or the Zales, but it was a day of mourning for the entire world, because what would eventually become known as a global hero, or even a galactic hero, has passed away and left the world. Yeah, that's where we're gonna end, you guys. Hopefully you've been enjoying the story. Maybe not this one, this ending right now, but I hope you've been enjoying the story up to now. We've got 1 or 2 parts more before we conclude the adventures of Atticus. A hero is born. I apologize for not having a video out on Monday. I was not feeling well, so I'm putting a video out today, and I'll put a video out on Friday so that we can have two videos for the week. So look for that. Look for a video on Friday as well. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great